So we did 21.5 plus miles 2 days ago. Yesterday was a 24-mile day. Long day. We are at most 15 miles today. 1 mile before what I have marked as our stop is a little village with an albergue with only 14 beds. If they have 4 beds available when we arrive, we're going to do that, just because. That'll be the smallest albergue we stayed in. We are being kind to ourselves today. We're moving at a little slower pace after back-to-back 20-hour plus days, 20-mile plus days. And we're taking a little longer for breakfast. And we're going to take a longer leisurely lunch because we're being kind to ourselves. And I think it's something we forget to do back home is factor in, if you have a project and you've got a 60 or 80 hour week or two, that's fine. But you need to have some recovery time. And I know people going, yeah, but my boss. So I had a boss, one of the hardest charging bosses I ever worked for, very type A. He hired all of us because we were type A. And I took comp time. He was not always a fan of it. But I also delivered results in my area. And I had a huge project to launch one day. Everything had to be shipped on whatever, but it also fell on opening day. Now, I should have pushed it back a week, but I took my son to opening day. Had for 4 or 5 years at that point. And so I told him, I said, yeah, I'll get everything ready to go. And just so you know, I take my son to opening day every year since I moved back home. I didn't ask permission. This is the mistake nice guys make. It wasn't an option for him to say yes to me taking my son to opening day. When I used to pull him out of school in middle school, one time there was standardized testing, and they're like, what if he misses a test? And I said, don't care. Has nothing to do with education. It really doesn't, okay? So we're going to have a long lunch, a short afternoon, and then we are going to kick back. And heaven help me, if I find a cold stream to soak my feet in, I will. But you have to have downtime, guys. You have to recharge your batteries. It's something we overlook. And I think it's something that you make excuses. Well, my boss won't let me. Well, if your boss expects 60 to 80 hour weeks leading up to the launch of a project, or this boss that I talked about earlier, we had to work holidays that were in the handbook as days off because of our department, the type of department we're asset protection. And so I always said, fine, I'm taking the next Friday off. And I did as minimal as possible working on the holidays. Made myself very visible at the stores on the way to my family plans. So, but again, I didn't ask. And this is a guy a lot of people wouldn't do that with, but I looked at it as, I'm going to take care of myself and my family. And physically, guys, you got to do that. You got to carve out time for exercise. I did a lot with 75 hard before this trip to get ready for the 500-mile Camino. We are, as we're talking today, 137 as of this morning in. So 360 to go. When we get to Bourgeot, we'll be 170 plus. So make sure you recharge your batteries and you prioritize yourself, guys. We'll catch you later.